They say food is the new porn, but surely that's rubbish, isn't it?
Gourmet salad with caramelised pears and creamy Stilton.
Oh, you dirty bit of cheese.
Cookswold pork pie in rich crust pastry. Told extra sweet, hand-picked fresh cherries. This is not just food.
Fucking damn right it's not. It's food that's about to be silly. So anyway, it seems food is indeed the new porn, which is just as well, because what the hell could be more of a turn on than this?
Hi there, good morning, I'm Anthony Wild Thompson. Welcome to Saturday Cooks.
Yes, it's Necklace Sex Barrel Anthony Worrell Thompson, played here by the warrior dwarf from Lord of the Rings, presenting ITV's Saturday Cooks. Sorry, as you can see, there's actually an exclamation mark in that title, which means I should be pronouncing it Saturday Cooks! Each week, Woz is joined by some celebrity guest chefs. For instance, here, he's joined by a 50-year-old Justin Lee Collins.
What are you going to be cooking for the lads?
Well, it's got to be something really simple. It's chicken and chips.
Actually, is it just me, or does this look a bit like a West German porn star reunion? It's all lightweight, undemanding stuff. In fact, as far as I can see, the only real problem with Wozzer, apart from the fact that his voice is so nasally, he often sounds like a bee playing a kazoo in an envelope, is that he keeps saying things that would put anyone off their food.
I didn't have my sports bra on today, so I felt bouncing about a bit there.
That's fresh.
Bit of a sweat on now, actually. A bit wet. I had a bit of a sweat on.
I'm trying to Also, there's the occasional shot which makes it look like he's trying to scratch his nuts, which doesn't exactly help.
Lovely beef.
Ugh. And when he's not doing that, he sometimes sports a strange sort of infinitely bored look whenever anyone else is speaking.
The vanilla seal is definitely the things would indicate you that.
We all know about Rioja and how successful that region's been. And obviously now there's some fantastic wines.
I've only got one recipe, which is for gazpacho, and I wonder if you could suggest some others.
Saturday Cooks is the rival show to the BBC's Saturday Kitchen, which is presented by the affably goonish James Martin, whose specialist subject seems to be mocking any guest with a foreign accent.
We're going to make, what do you call them, a stew.
A stew?
Yeah.
What's a stew?
Well, I call them a stew.
Yes, yeah. We need subtitles on the bottom of this recipe, don't we?
This is called chicken pollo saltimbocca. It is chicken with ham and fontina cheese.
If you didn't get that, it's chicken on a skew.
Yeah, you tell him, James. Coming over here, sharing his wisdom, cheeky bastard.
Prosciutto crudo.
Funny you can say that right.
Exactly. Now, all these cookery shows are perfectly watchable. The problem is that they tend to all blend into one. For instance, Saturday Kitchen features a regular Food Heaven, Food Hell segment where viewers decide what to feed that week's starred guest.
Will you give Shana her idea of food heaven, mozzarella, or will you condemn her to food hell and make her eat sea bass?
It's a segment that will seem eerily familiar to viewers of ITV's Sunday Feast.
Will it be his Sunday feast in heaven, grilled sardines?
Or will you choose his Sunday feast in hell, salt and pepper squid? Well,
Though fortunately they'll be too busy going, oh now Andy Peters to notice. There's only so much you can do with the televised preparation of food, which is why the surrounding gimmick is often more important than the recipes themselves.
Already we've had annoying Shoreditch twattery with a bloke who thinks everything's wicked.
It'll be wicked in that salad.
Fuzzy bikers who look like they'd rather throw a bottle of piss at a support act than roast some chicken.
And even cooking and f***ing. I mean the word f***ing bellowed as aggressively as possible into someone's face.
You jumped up little fucking prick. Who the fuck do you think you are? Because you, as a maitre d', are fucking useless.
Say what you like about Gordon Ramsay, he's not afraid to call a spade a f***ing
What the fuck do you think you're doing, you fucking idiot?
The most recent TV food gimmick is Cooking in the Danger Zone, in which Stefan Gates visits the world's trouble spots and eats there.
Chin had ordered chicken as well as dog stew, just in case I wimped out.
It's surely only a matter of time before we end up getting underwater cookery or graveyard cookery or cookery near some pencils. It seems anything will do as long as it's got some cookery in it and, preferably, a celebrity. I mean, what next? Cilla Black rubbing an OXO cube on an orange?
I helped myself to an orange and I helped myself to an OXO cube. Doesn't that look fabulous? And this is and I started eating it.
That's the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Glossy, iconic 80s cop show Miami Vice, available on DVD, made a big splash on TV and has now transferred to the big screen. Here's a look at some other, less pastel and neon crime shows, all of which are worth detecting on DVD.
Okay, let's talk.
First up, Columbo, the classic 70s crime series starring Peter Falk as the deceptively brilliant, shabby investigator who specialises in irritating his subjects into submission. Almost every episode's a delight. This one from Season 3 starring Donald Pleasance is particularly great.
Thursday the 20th. That's what did it, sir.
Next, the quirky and some might say tasteless monk, another cop with a gimmick, his being that he suffers from obsessive-compulsive disorder, which makes him a pain in both nuts to share a flat with, but great at solving crime. Finally, since the Zucker Brothers Police Squad isn't available on DVD till November, let's celebrate Sledgehammer, the 80s Dirty Harry spoof packed with cheesy gags and NRA baiting satire.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
It's variable stuff, but there's at least a couple of good old-fashioned guffaws in every episode, and we could all do with a laugh, couldn't we, Governor?
I didn't know you knew how to disarm a bomb.
I don't. I have this.
Don't be fooled by all my negativity and scowling, okay? I'm human. I love. And one of the things I love is Deadwood on Sky One. Now, even if you're not that familiar with the show, you probably already know two things about it. One, Ian McShane plays a charismatic villain, and two, it's got loads and loads of bad language in it.
Fucking beer.
Get the fuck inside me,
Actually, the constant bad language is a deliberate stylistic choice. People in the Wild West didn't really speak like that. They used cuss words like nincompoop or tarnation, which would have been shocking at the time, but strike us today as impossibly tame. But the creators decided to make the townsfolk contemporarily foul-mouthed to maintain that anarchic, underclassy feel in the present day, and it works. The people of Deadwood talk f***ing tough.
Get her, get shot!
Well, hold her up then. Got a long fucking way to fall down.
Still, ultimately, all the effing and blinding is just window dressing. What makes Deadwood remarkable is the things it doesn't do. Unlike almost every other programme on television, it never patronises the viewer. In fact, it does the opposite. It gives you no easy handle to get a hold of. In fact, there's often more talk than action.
Could you have been born, Richardson, and not egg-hatched as I've always assumed? Did your mother hover over you?
And the dialogue's so oblique you sometimes don't even know quite what's going on. At times it's almost Shakespearean, and I don't use that term lightly.
Information which affects this community is not my prerogative to disseminate. To do so is my sacred responsibility.
Whores currently disseminating a dose, for example.
To inform within decency's limits. We've had this discussion before.
Citizens better die postulating than touch indecent ink.
At first it's quite off-putting. You have to actually go through a sort of wall of understanding before you can pick it up and get carried along. But fortunately, you get so drawn to the characters that doesn't matter, and it's these characters that are Deadwood's real trump card. Chief amongst them, of course, is Ian McShane, seemingly having the time of his life, playing the wonderfully brutal Al Swearingen, saloon owner and bastard. McShane's performance is completely mesmerising, almost magically so, but it's just one of many superb performances in the programme. The whole town is populated with one solid character actor after another, most of whom are real, oh, it's him faces. For instance, oh, it's him from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest plays the kindly local doc. Oh, it's him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off plays the newspaper guy. And oh, it's him from Blade Runner plays E.B., the wonderfully creepy, no-good mayor. So sleazy, every word he utters feels like a gobful of worms landing in your lap.
Do you only feign stupidity while in fact plotting ways to madden me?
Some of the performances do teeter on the brink of parody, but never quite tip themselves over into the pit. Take Calamity Jane, for instance.
Oh, a piss puddle. Must not have seen that when seating myself.
Now, Robin Weigart's performance is so big it's almost Little Britain, but she gets away with it because you just inherently believe in all the characters in Deadwood. Because the characters in Deadwood define the plot, not the other way round, and that's rare. Furthermore, all the characters, no matter how incidental they are, each has their own plausible inner life. Then there's all the attention to background detail, all the grime and dirt, even the old glass in the windows. Deadwood is a character in itself, slowly transforming itself from a ramshackle prospector's settlement into a bona fide town. It's a believable, isolated world unto itself. Okay, it's not completely perfect. The sheriff, for instance, played by the preposterously named Timothy Oliphant, often lapses into what looks like a comically stiff Dirty Harry tribute act.
Tell that Chinaman when I want admission to his meat locker, it behooves him to fucking cooperate.
More worryingly, everyone in it necks so much whiskey throughout, it's hard to watch it without wanting to join in yourself, and it's absolutely impossible to concentrate on